Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. Love has a way of sneaking up on us when we least expect it. It doesn't always start with fireworks or grand gestures. Sometimes it begins quietly, softly. It grows in the spaces between conversations. It hides behind the glances that linger a little too long. It lives in the small acts of care that seem ordinary, but are filled with meaning. When someone's heart has been stolen, you can feel it in their presence. You can feel it in the way they show up for you even when you didn't ask them to. The beauty of love is that sometimes you don't even realize you've captured someone's heart until it's too late, until they are already too deep to walk away. And today, we're going to talk about those sweet little signs that show you've stolen someone's heart without even trying. The first sign is that they pay attention to everything about you. They remember the little things you say, even when you think they're insignificant. You could mention your favorite snack once in passing, and the next time you see them, it's sitting there waiting for you. They remember your childhood stories, your dreams, the things that make you laugh, and even the things that make you sad. When someone truly cares, they listen differently. They don't just hear your words. They study your heart through them. And when you find someone who listens with that kind of attention, you've touched something deep inside them. Because attention is the currency of love. You don't give it to everyone. You give it to the one who matters most. The second sign is that they go out of their way to make your life easier. It's not about grand gestures. It's about effort. They'll help you with small things without you even asking. They'll check in to make sure you made it home safe. They'll fix something that's broken without being told. They'll show up when you're tired and need support. These little actions may not look like much, but they speak volumes. When a person's heart belongs to you, your comfort becomes their priority. They start to think about your needs before their own, not because they have to, but because they want to. That's love in motion. That's devotion without a declaration. The third sign is the way they look at you. You might not even notice it at first, but if you catch their eyes often enough, you'll see something different in them. It's not just admiration. It's awe. It's softness. It's a silent story that says, I can't believe you exist. Their eyes light up when you walk into the room. They might look away quickly when you catch them staring, but that doesn't stop them from looking again. That gaze is where attraction meets admiration, where desire meets respect. And when someone looks at you like that, you don't just live in their thoughts. You live in their soul. The fourth sign is that they want to share everything with you. Their wins, their losses, their random thoughts, their silly jokes. You become their safe space. You become the person they text first. When something good or bad happens, they'll open up about their dreams and their fears, their plans and their mistakes. Because when a person feels emotionally connected, they want you to see all of them. Not just the parts that look good, but the ones that are still healing too. They let their guard down. They stop pretending. They allow you to see who they really are. And when someone does that, it's because their heart has already decided that you are home. The fifth sign is that they defend you even when you're not around. They don't let anyone speak badly about you. They stand up for you without hesitation. They protect your name as if it's their own. And that's not because they're trying to impress you. It's because they value you deeply. They respect you. They cherish you. When someone's heart belongs to you, your reputation matters to them. They want the world to see you the way they do. They want everyone to know that you are someone worth honoring. That silent loyalty says more than any "I love you" ever could. The sixth sign is that they can't help but touch you in subtle ways. Maybe it's a gentle brush of their hand against yours. Maybe it's how they hug you a little longer than necessary. Maybe it's how they find excuses to be near you. Physical closeness is one of the body's ways of expressing emotional intimacy. When someone's heart is yours, they crave that connection. They want to feel your presence. They want to feel grounded in your energy. It's not about passion alone. It's about comfort. It's about the reassurance that you're real, that you're there, that they belong beside you. The seventh sign is that they are curious about your world. They want to know your friends, your favorite places, your routines. They want to understand what makes you who you are. When a person loves you, they don't just want to be a part of your life. They want to learn your world so they can love you better inside it. They ask questions. They remember details. They show up where you are, not to invade, but to connect. Curiosity is love's way of saying, I want to understand you so I can meet you where you are. The eighth sign is that they support your growth, even if it means you'll outgrow them. That's the purest kind of love. They want to see you happy. They want to see you shine. They'll encourage your goals. They'll celebrate your progress. They'll cheer you on even when it hurts them to see you drift away. Because real love is not about possession. It's about freedom. When someone's heart truly belongs to you, they don't clip your wings. They help you fly higher. They know that love without freedom isn't love. It's control. And they would rather see you thriving without them than broken with them. The ninth sign is that they mirror you without realizing it. They pick up your phrases. They start liking the things you like. They begin to reflect your energy. Because when hearts connect, souls synchronize. You start to see yourself in them in the smallest ways. Maybe they order the same drink you do. Maybe they laugh at things they never used to find funny. Maybe they start growing in the same direction as you. That's what emotional connection does. It aligns energies. It makes two hearts beat in rhythm even without trying. The 10th sign is that they fear losing you. They might not say it out loud, but you can feel it. You can feel it in the way they check on you, in the way they hold you closer when they hug you, in the way their tone softens when there's tension between you. That fear is not insecurity. It's recognition. It's the awareness that they've found something rare, something precious, something they don't want to let go of. And that's when you know you've truly stolen someone's heart. When the thought of your absence shakes their peace. When they look at you and silently promise themselves, I'm not going to mess this up. Love isn't always loud. It's not always about big declarations or constant confessions. Sometimes it's in the smallest gestures, the quiet actions, the unspoken emotions that say, you matter to me. It's in the way someone looks at you like you're the only one in the room. It's in the way they remember what everyone else forgets. It's in the way they make space for you in their world without asking for anything in return. That's what it means to steal someone's heart without knowing it. You didn't have to try, you just had to be yourself. Because authenticity is magnetic, vulnerability is powerful, and kindness is unforgettable. So if you've ever wondered whether someone has fallen for you without saying it, look for these signs. Look for the care that goes beyond words. Look for the consistency that doesn't need validation. Look for the peace that surrounds you when they're near. Because love often reveals itself not in what is said, but in what is done. And when someone's heart is yours, you'll feel it long before you ever hear it. It will be in their presence, in their actions, in the way they look at you like they've already found what they've been searching for all along. The sweetest part about love is that sometimes you don't even know when it begins. One day you're just living your life. Then suddenly someone starts showing up, caring, listening, protecting. And before you know it, you've become the center of their world without even trying. You've stolen their heart in the most effortless way possible, not through beauty, not through charm, but through being real, through being kind, through being you. And that kind of love is the kind that lasts, the kind that grows, the kind that doesn't fade even when time passes, because it wasn't built on appearances. It was built on connection. on truth, on soul. When someone truly loves you, you won't have to question it. You'll feel it in every little thing they do, in the way they respect you, in the way they care for you, in the way they choose you quietly every single day. Love doesn't always come with fireworks. Sometimes it comes as peace. Sometimes it comes as understanding. Sometimes it comes as the simple realization that you've stolen someone's heart just by being yourself. And that's the kind of love that doesn't need proof, because it lives in the unspoken moments that speak the loudest of all. Attention is the purest form of love because it goes beyond words, beyond gestures, beyond promises that can be broken, and settles in the quiet space where one's soul begins to see another fully for who they are, without judgment, without expectation, without needing to change them. Simply seeing them and cherishing what they see. When someone gives you their full attention, they are saying with their presence that in this moment you matter more than anything else, that your words, your feelings, your existence have value, and that they are willing to pause the noise of the world just to hear your heartbeat through the rhythm of your thoughts. It is not about looking, but about seeing, not about hearing, but about listening, not about observing, but about feeling what the other person feels. When attention is given with purity, it becomes the most powerful expression of love because it requires time, patience, and emotional presence. And these are the currencies of true connection that no material gift can ever replace. The kind of attention that touches the soul is not distracted or half-hearted. It is undivided, intentional, alive. It is the kind that notices when your voice changes because your heart is tired, when your smile fades just a little even though you're trying to hide it, when your silence says more than your words ever could. It is the kind that remembers your stories, the details of your dreams, the way your eyes light up when you talk about something you love, and the things that make you anxious, even when you try to laugh them away. Real attention captures all of that because it is not listening to reply, it is listening to understand. It is not watching to judge, it is watching to protect. It is not paying attention to gain control, it is paying attention to care. When someone loves you deeply, they don't wait for you to shout for help because they already see when you're struggling. They know your patterns, your habits, the rhythm of your energy. They can sense when something's off, even from the smallest change in your tone. That kind of awareness is love in its most sacred form because it means they are connected to your emotional world, not just your physical presence. Attention builds emotional intimacy. It creates safety. It tells you that you're seen, not just looked at. And for many people, that feeling of being seen is what heals the wounds that the world has left behind. It softens the armor you've built over time. It makes you trust again. Because when someone's attention is consistent and kind, it becomes a mirror that reflects your worth back to you in ways you might have forgotten to believe yourself. Love given through attention says, you are worthy of time, you are worthy of care, you are worthy of being known beyond the surface. It says your thoughts matter, your emotions are valid, and your presence is enough without you needing to perform or impress. Attention is love's language without words. It's what keeps relationships alive after the butterflies fade and the spark quiets down. It's what reminds two people that love isn't just about attraction, it's about awareness. When you give someone your attention, you are saying, I choose to know you, I choose to understand you, I choose to make space for your truth, even when it's messy, even when it's inconvenient, even when it challenges me. Because love that pays attention is love that grows. It adapts. It evolves with the person you are becoming. It celebrates your progress and stays patient with your pain. It does not get bored when things are difficult, because real attention does not come from curiosity alone. It comes from commitment. It is not the attention that fades once desire is satisfied. It is the attention that deepens when desire matures into devotion. It does not vanish when new distractions appear, because it knows that love requires effort, not just emotion. The beauty of giving attention is that it transforms the one who gives it as much as the one who receives it. To truly pay attention, you have to quiet your ego, your assumptions, your need to speak first, your desire to fix. You learn to just be there. You learn to listen without defense. You learn to care without controlling. And that humbles you because it reminds you that love is not about having someone, it's about honoring them. It's about respecting their individuality while still being present enough to walk beside them. When attention becomes mutual, when both people are truly tuned in to one another, it creates harmony that words can never describe. It creates a rhythm of emotional reciprocity where both feel valued, both feel seen, both feel safe enough to be real. And that is the kind of love that lasts because it's not built on excitement, but on understanding, not on perfection, but on presence. There is also a quiet strength in attention that goes unnoticed. It's in the way someone remembers what you said months ago and brings it up just when you need it. It's in the way they prepare your coffee the way you like it without asking. It's in the way they protect your peace by not exposing your vulnerabilities to others. It's in the way they know when to hold you and when to give you space. All of that is love operating in silence, proving itself through awareness. That's why people say attention is the purest form of love, because it's the one thing that cannot be faked for long. You can buy gifts, you can say the right words, you can post the right pictures, but attention requires sincerity. You cannot force yourself to truly care about someone's details unless your heart is genuinely invested. And when you find someone who gives you that level of attention, it is sacred. It is rare. It is worth protecting. But attention also reveals truth. When it's missing, you can feel it. When someone stops paying attention, you know love is fading, because when the mind wanders, the heart follows. That's why attention is not only love's language, it's also love's measure. The one who pays attention is the one who cares the most. The one who listens deeply is the one who loves deeply. The one who remembers what others forget is the one whose heart is involved beyond convenience. That's how you know when love is real. It pays attention even when it doesn't have to. It shows up even when there's no reward. It stays present even when life gets busy. Because love that is genuine does not multitask with your heart. It focuses. It chooses. It remains intentional. To steal someone's heart, you don't need to try. You just need to make them feel seen. You just need to make them feel heard. Because in a world full of people who only half listen, who scroll through moments instead of living them, who treat relationships like background noise, attention becomes rare, and therefore it becomes priceless. The person who looks at you like you're the only one in the room has already given you something precious, their focus, their energy, their time. And in that focus, in that presence, lies the purest expression of love there is. Attention builds connection. Connection builds trust. Trust builds love. And love, when nurtured with awareness, becomes unbreakable because it is rooted in something real, something deep, something human. So when you love someone, pay attention. When you care, show it through presence. When you're listening, really listen. Don't look at your phone. Don't think about your response. Don't plan your next move. Just be there. That's how love grows. That's how hearts bond. That's how souls recognize each other. Because attention is more than a gesture. It is the essence of intimacy, the foundation of affection, the heartbeat of emotional connection. It is what turns attraction into understanding and understanding into devotion. And once love reaches that level of attention, it becomes something no time, no distance, no silence can ever destroy. It lives on quietly, powerfully, endlessly in the spaces where two souls once paid attention enough to see each other completely. Actions reveal the heart in ways words never can, because words are often dressed in charm, shaped by convenience, and spoken for effect. But actions are born from truth. They expose the reality of someone's intentions, their loyalty, and their capacity to love. When a person truly cares, you don't need to guess it. You don't need to chase confirmation, because their actions will tell you, their consistency will tell you, their presence will tell you. Real love doesn't hide behind excuses. It shows up, it calls back. It makes time even when there's none left, because love that's sincere always finds a way. Actions are the evidence of emotion. They are the living proof of what someone truly feels when no one is watching, when there's nothing to gain, when showing up is inconvenient. You learn who a person really is not by how they talk when it's easy, but by how they act when it's hard, when the relationship is tested, when you're not shining but struggling, when you're not the center of attention but the one in need of support. There is a language that only actions can speak, and that language never lies. When someone listens instead of dismissing you, that is love speaking. When they protect your name in rooms you're not in, that is loyalty speaking. When they remember what matters to you, even when you've forgotten to remind them, that is care speaking. Words may tell you they care, but actions show you that they mean it. Words may promise you forever, but actions prove it one moment at a time. Because love, in its truest form, is not something you say, it's something you live, something you do, something you build through consistency, honesty, and devotion. The person who truly loves you will not confuse you. They will not leave you questioning whether you matter. They will not disappear when things get uncomfortable. They will not love you only when it's convenient for them. Because real love does not take breaks from commitment. It does not need reminders to be kind. It does not switch off and on depending on mood or distance. The beauty of actions is that they carry the energy of truth. You can hear someone say they love you, but if their behavior contradicts their words, the truth will always reveal itself. You can tell when someone's heart is in it, when they care not because they have to, but because they want to. They check in without being asked. They notice when something's off. They show up even when tired. They remember your needs even when preoccupied. And that kind of effort cannot be faked. It comes from genuine affection, from a place of emotional investment. Because love without effort is just empty talk. It's air dressed as emotion. It's decoration without foundation. But love expressed through consistent, thoughtful action builds safety. And safety is what allows love to grow. When someone's actions make you feel seen, secure, and appreciated, you know that love is alive in its purest form. Every act of kindness, every word followed by behavior, every small gesture done with care carries more meaning than grand speeches. Love is in the details. It's in the way someone makes sure you've eaten, the way they listen even when they've heard the same story before, the way they text to check you got home safe, the way they remember how you like your coffee, or the exact playlist that calms you. Those things may seem small, but they are the soul's handwriting little notes that say, I see you, I remember you, I care about you. And when you start paying attention to those small details, you realize that love isn't built in the moments that look like movies. It's built in the everyday moments that no one claps for. It's built in consistency, in patience, in care that never asks for credit. That's what makes action sacred. They are quiet yet powerful. They are subtle yet unforgettable. Love that only talks is love that fades quickly, but love that acts becomes something eternal, something grounded in truth. Actions are the bridge between intention and reality. They turn emotion into experience. That's why the person who acts on their words is the one whose love you can trust. You don't have to decode them. You don't have to wonder. Their behavior aligns with their affection. They make you feel loved not through promises but through patterns. Their actions tell a story of effort, and effort is the heartbeat of real love. Love is not proven in the beginning when excitement is high. It's proven in the middle, in the mundane, in the messy parts. It's proven in the moments when one person could choose to walk away, but chooses instead to stay, to work it out, to listen, to forgive, to rebuild. There is strength in silent actions that words could never match. A hand held in silence when you're breaking, a forehead kiss that says, "I'm here," when words would feel hollow, a gentle touch that calms storms no voice could quiet. Those are actions that heal, that ground, that remind you that love doesn't always need to be spoken loudly to be felt deeply. The most powerful love is often the quietest one, the one that shows up every day with gentleness, the one that stays consistent when emotions fluctuate, the one that keeps choosing you even on the days when you're not easy to love. That's the kind of love actions create, the kind that doesn't need to prove itself, because it already has time and time again. You know someone's heart by what they do when no one is keeping score. The person who still shows up, who still gives even when tired, who still supports even when misunderstood, that's the person whose heart is gold. Because their actions come from love, not obligation. Their kindness isn't a transaction. It's a reflection of who they are. And when you find someone whose actions match their words, you found something rare. You've found integrity. You found emotional maturity. You found the type of love that builds rather than breaks. Love is not about intensity, it's about consistency. Passion can fade, excitement can waver, but consistency is what keeps love alive. It's in the routines, in the small habits, in the continued care that says you still matter, even when life gets heavy. That's what separates someone who loves you from someone who just likes you for a while. The one who loves you keeps showing up even when the world goes silent. The one who loves you doesn't vanish when things get hard. They fight for you. They stand beside you. They protect you even when you're not around to see it. The truth is, actions are love's memory. When words fade, when promises are forgotten, actions remain. They tell the story of who truly cared, who truly stayed, who truly meant every word they once spoke. They carry the weight of loyalty, the strength of devotion, the quiet proof of love's endurance. That's why you should never measure love by what someone says, but by what they do. Because talk is easy, affection is easy, but follow through is rare. And rare is what makes love meaningful. So when someone says they love you, watch what follows. Watch how they move when you're not watching. Watch how they treat you when no one's there to applaud it. Watch if their behavior holds up when emotions settle. Because actions will always tell you the truth that words try to hide. And the truth, once revealed, is what gives love its power. Real love doesn't just speak. It proves itself quietly, daily, endlessly, through actions that need no announcement, only presence, only consistency, only heart.